Welcome to the Fight Night Daily podcast from talkSPORT. We are at the weigh-ins here at Box Park at Wembley for Oleksander Usyk versus Daniel Dubois Part 2. I'm Adam Catterall, pleasure to be with you. Gareth A Davies is here, he's been here all week, as has Spencer Oliver, as has the White Rhino himself, Mr. Dave Allen. Before we get stuck into the intricacies, because I'm looking forward to picking your brains, boys, as to what you've picked up throughout the course of the week, gives us the dots, gives us the cross of the T's, everything that we've just seen there with the two boys hitting the scales. What were the weights and what have you taken away from that weigh-in?
Not a lot of energy between either of them when they faced off, which I thought was fascinating. Usyk, 227.3 pounds, same weight as when he fought, pretty much exactly the same weight as when he fought Tyson Fury last December. Dubois, 243.8 pounds, 5 pounds lighter than when he fought Anthony Joshua. But you've pointed it out to me as well, 10 pounds heavier than when he fought Usyk the first time. I think he's in for a fast, aggressive, rapid, ruthless type of fight, Dubois, but also he's fit enough, because I've been doing running with him as well, and you have. He can run loads at the moment. He's also prepared for 12 rounds. Usyk is just Usyk. He's primed and perfect for his weight, his shape, his size, and all of those things.
Dave, as a heavyweight, what did you take away from them boys on the scale just then?
It's always interesting. People always say that heavyweight starts to worry about the weight, but you do really. You know, I'm probably not the greatest, person to be asking about the importance of making a specific weight as a heavyweight, but Usyk looks like he's what he is, 38 years of age now. He's a heavyweight now. He's not a big heavyweight, but he's a heavyweight. Daniel, unbelievable athlete, unbelievable. I think now he has really physically matured now. He's a man. I think the first fight, he was still a boy. Now he's a man physically, but obviously it's about up here, I think. To beat Usyk, I think he has to be switched on up here as well as being physically ready. So they both look great, but as we all expected they would do.
You've sat down with the pair of them this week. What Dave just said there about the psychological aspects of the fight, what have you taken away from them sit-downs?
Just to echo exactly what Dave said there, I think that is plain and simple to see. Oleksander Usyk is Oleksander Usyk. He is the generational great. You know, he's beaten everybody, not just once, twice. He's looking to now do that with Daniel Dubois as well, but he's going in against a different Daniel Dubois. Is Oleksander Usyk different from the first fight, or has he just got a little bit older? Whatever you say about Usyk, those two last fights he would have had with Tyson Fury, all right, we've not seen the decline, but they would have taken something out of him. Let's rewind.
We're guessing at that, though, aren't we?
Yeah, but let's go. No, purely.
I don't agree with you.
No. What I'm saying is they would have taxed him at some point. Whether we see that in the performance, Father Time, they would have put miles on the clock. Gareth, is what I'm saying.
Okay,
that's
maybe.
What I'm saying.
But
I'm not saying there's a decline.
But
hold on, I'm not saying there's a decline. Let me just finish. But what I'm saying, let me. Then you
no. I'm enjoying it. Go on, go on. Finish.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. And yeah, when you go back to 2023, a 25-year-old Daniel Dubois, he has improved massively, physically and mentally. And that's the difference between going into this fight. Not saying that Usyk has declined, but Dubois has got better.
I'll come to you on this. I'll give you your say. With what Spencer's right with what he's just said, but has he improved?
Not necessarily.
No. I think every single one of us will say that Daniel Dubois today compared to Daniel Dubois in 2023 is a better version of Daniel Dubois.
Tell me what I said wrong.
Tell
me what I said wrong.
Wait a minute, that's the point that I'm going to make. Has he improved enough to shut the gap on Oleksander Usyk?
Where I was disagreeing with you was not on Daniel Dubois, because he's the guy with it all to do. It's how the presence, the aura, the capabilities, the resonance, the comfortableness that Usyk has grown into as the world's heavyweight champion. He's beaten the guy we thought was the best guy of the era and beaten him convincingly twice. More convincingly the second time than the first time. I think Daniel is a better fighter.
Do you think Usyk has improved from the last time?
I think
From the Dubois fight?
Yeah, do you think Usyk's improved?
Yes, because he's had to fight someone more difficult than Dubois. But listen, I get you picking Dubois. I get people picking Dubois. If he gets things right, if he closes the distance early, if he puts pressure on Usyk, if he bombards him, he can knock him out. He can knock out anyone. So I do understand people giving Dubois a massive opportunity at this point in his career.
But no one's saying Usyk has declined.
I'm not saying he's declined. No, he hasn't.
How does then we'll come at this from two angles. From an Usyk point of view, he's beaten him once already, beat him relatively comfortably out in Poland. It is a different version, we believe, but we don't know how good that version is coming into this fight of Daniel Dubois. How does Usyk approach this fight?
It's difficult because Daniel is definitely different. Usyk, we are guessing if he's on the decline. We're not sure. Only thing we can go on Usyk's decline is time and age.
Yeah.
We haven't seen anything to say that he's in
Correct,
decline.
I agree with that.
All we can say is another 6 months at his age after the second Fury fight. The Fury fights were hard. But for Usyk, he does nothing different. He does what he always does. He does what makes him 23-0. He's the undisputed heavyweight champion, cruiserweight champion. Usyk does what he does. For me, this fight is about Daniel Dubois. Has he improved enough physically? Has he matured enough mentally? Hrgovic, Miller, Joshua, all very, very good fighters, but you know they're more of a physical challenge. Usyk is a puzzle.
Yeah.
A physical challenge, but he's a puzzle.
Are you seeing it then more as a mental challenge tomorrow night rather than a physical battle?
I believe so. For Daniel, he has to be confident, and he's confident now. He looks very confident. He'll be confident till the first bell. He might be confident for 30 seconds. He might be confident for a round, for 2 rounds. Usyk starts making him miss. He will make him miss. He'll make him move. He'll hit him with the jab. Daniel has to stay switched on and stay confident. He will start confident, but how long will he keep that confidence for when Usyk starts making him miss, starts hitting him with the jab? So for me, it's all about Daniel keeping that composure and the confidence.
How does Daniel then approach the fight? Not from the mental point of view, stylistically, because it didn't work last time.
Spoke to Lennox earlier on. We'd had a great interview. That's up on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel as well. And Lennox talked about Daniel having to approach this fight the way he approached the Evander Holyfield fight. He said, what I had to do was match him for speed, meet him in the middle, impose my physical strengths, my size, my physical stature, and punch with him and punch, I had to have the same sort of output. I think that Don Charles, the team, Daniel Dubois, they all recognise the slight adjustments they got to make. And that is by, you look at the first fight, he went out there and Usyk does what he does so well, whereas he controls the space of the ring, a lot of feinting, and he keeps the opponent at bay. He done it with Anthony Joshua, and he done it with Daniel Dubois. Once he does that to the bigger man, then the guy's in trouble because he starts controlling the pace and getting into a rhythm. Daniel has to go out there, take that away from him, impose his physical stature, punch when Usyk punches and not let him get into a rhythm. Slight little adjustments, switch the attacks to the body. That was another thing Lennox was talking about with the smaller guy. Target that body and keep going, not because of what we talk about, maybe the only weakness of Oleksander Usyk. But Lennox was making all these comparisons and it totally made sense on how he wins a fight. And I think that's how they're going to approach it.
It's a lot easier said than done that though, isn't it? Because we're dealing with Usyk, who's so accurate. And those second phases, you can get a little bit wary of going for the second phase when you're getting pinged.
There's a danger for Daniel as the fight progresses, and you'll forgive me for saying this, Don Charles, he doesn't use a lot of lateral movement. He comes in a lot of straight lines. He throws in a lot of straight lines. He's very effective and hard, but Usyk is a lot of lateral movement, a lot of three-step dancing, a lot of fencing and keeping you looking at the right hand while he's finding angles for that left hand. And that's the danger for Daniel.
Usyk, having sparred Usyk, he's not really in terms of, I don't think he has, in the first fight, it wasn't really hurting Daniel. Daniel was never really hurt, but he breaks your heart really.
He's demoralising.
I sparred him with a head guard on. It's not a case of, he wasn't hurting me, but he was breaking my heart slowly. I was having no success. He's hit me with little shots. He's making me look a little bit foolish. When you're in front of 96,000 people,
he takes that confidence away.
He's a technician, isn't he?
You start missing by, you're not missing by much, you're missing by an inch or two.
Yeah.
He's coming from different angles. You're having no success. It starts to, he might not necessarily hurt them with one punch, but he's going to be hurting him, just making him miss. He's a really hard man to fight.
What would be your advice for Daniel to approach the fight? How would you start off? Or how would you tell Daniel to start the fight, to get into it, to not allow Usyk to get into that rhythm?
I'd be very aggressive.
Yeah.
It's difficult because Derek Chisora, we all look at the Chisora fight as a blueprint. Rough him up, be physical, because Usyk, he isn't the biggest man, he isn't physically the strongest. But Daniel Dubois is not Derek Chisora.
He doesn't rock and roll in like him, does he?
I believe that's how you beat him, but Daniel Dubois is not going to do that. We can say, Daniel should do this, but Daniel's a brilliant boxer. He's a textbook boxer, brilliant jab, brilliant 1-2, great fundamentals. He's not Derek Chisora, so I would say be aggressive, but be aggressive with what you're good at. Get your jab going. Jab up, jab down as well. So It's a very difficult job.
And don't get pushed back by him. Don't get pushed back by him.
With all that said and done, he still beat Chisora. He still came through that fight, didn't he? When there was sticky moments in there for Usyk, he still did come through it.
That was 5 years ago, by the way.
Here's the difference, right? Here's the difference in Daniel's favour here. When you're talking about Derek Chisora, who's physically very strong and heavy-handed as well. Any of the heavyweights that you speak to, I don't know about you, Dave, I've not even asked you this question yet, but they say when you go in with Dubois, he's got a jab like a right hand that's like absolutely phenomenal, and if you hit, you stay hit. Daniel is an improving fighter, and that whole mental side of his game, which Don Charles has worked on so well. You've seen him grow in stature, winning that world title, you've seen him grow in stature. If he's prepared to gamble, get knocked out or knock him out, and he's prepared to punch with Usyk when Usyk punches, he's got a real chance because he's so heavy-handed. He can knock the guy out, right?
He's definitely got a chance. I think if Dubois hits him, he'll knock him out. I sparred Daniel Dubois at 18 years of age. He hit me with the jab, and I'd never got hit with the right hand because I was that scared of what was coming. The jab was that hard. I literally said after the first round, he's not hitting me with that right hand. I'm not sure what's in it. I'm not going to find out. The thing with Usyk, to hit Usyk, in my opinion, you have to have fast hands and fast feet. And Daniel, I think sometimes has been guilty of throwing his punches without taking his feet in. And I think that's where he may go wrong again with Usyk, if Usyk hasn't slowed down. For me, Oleksander Usyk is one of the best heavyweights, one of the best fighters of all time. And Daniel Dubois, to win this fight, in my opinion, he needs Usyk to have slipped. That's all it comes down to.
Before you beautifully present us into the night, my friends, there's 217, the atmosphere in there tomorrow is important. There is rain forecast. There's 217,000 Ukrainians living in the UK. I think it'll be half and half in there for the fighters tomorrow night, because there'll be 20,000 Brits supporting Usyk even.
I think a lot of people are falling in love with Oleksander Usyk.
I agree.
It's not a tribal sport. Don't get me wrong, there'll be a lot of people supporting the British fighter, but it's not a tribal sport. They recognise brilliance, and the fella's brilliant.
He is.
And we're hopefully going to see one heck of a fight tomorrow night. So make sure you come and join us on talkSPORT. 6 o'clock is when we get going. It is the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. First time in the four-belt era that has taken place on British soil, and it takes place right behind us at Wembley Stadium. Like I said, tomorrow night from 6 o'clock, we will be live. Come and join us.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.